Hello, and welcome to our webinar, Help Us Save Lives, Become an Advocate. We're so glad you could join us and that you're interested in becoming an advocate to spread the message about genetic cardiomyopathy and getting people genetically tested. So let's get rolling. In this webinar, we're going to cover an overview about genetic cardiomyopathy and then talk about the need for advocacy and spreading the word. And then we will reveal how to become a GCAC advocate and easy steps to join our new Advocacy Army. So stay tuned. We will get right to it. So first, for those of you who don't know, the Genetic Cardiomyopathy Awareness Campaign and Consortium was created last year. We call it GCAC for short. And the key idea of this is to get the message out about the need for increased genetic testing for cardiomyopathy patients. This was launched by the DCM Foundation in 2023 to help bring awareness about the important role genetics plays in cardiomyopathy. And we then rolled this out and promoted this in partnership with all other leading US cardiomyopathy patient support groups and a number of leading biopharma companies. It's really amazing to see everyone working together, pulling together for this critical mission, which can help save lives and advance therapies and treatments. These are all of the organizations involved. We have our corporate sponsors shown there at the top doing great work in the area to try to identify various therapies for genetic cardiomyopathy. Here in the middle, you see our patient partner groups. And then at the bottom are the additional partners we work with to help spread the message. So first, why did we create this campaign? Again, some of you may have seen this before in prior webinars, but it bears repeating. The problem is there are about 50% of the cases of cardiomyopathy are due to genetics, but only 1% of people were getting genetically tested, and we need to change that. So with this campaign, we hope to increase testing to save the lives of cardiomyopathy patients and help increase the pace of cardiomyopathy genetic research and potential new life-saving therapies. So how can you help? Become knowledgeable, educate yourself. Visit our website, geneticcardiomyopathy.org, where we were constantly adding new, updated, and vetted information. Get genetically tested, or if you've been tested, encourage your family members to do the same. And join our Advocacy Army. Again, we will talk about that in a minute. This is our new logo for the Advocacy Army. First, I would like to unveil a couple of videos. We did some professional videos. Several tell the story of DCM and cardiomyopathy patients who received genetic testing. And then one is with a genetic counselor talking about the importance of getting genetically tested. So let's listen to Stephanie's video first. And these are samples of elements that will be available to you when you join our Advocacy Army, so you can share these with others to spread the word.
When I was 15 and diagnosed, they gave me 5 years to live. That was hard, being a teenager. I got an infection around the lining of your heart, and so they put me in the hospital for that, and that's when they found how bad it really was. I was diagnosed 41 years ago, and no one told me I could pass it on to my children. After my third child, she was born, and she only had 10% of her heart working, and she was really sick. She couldn't roll over, she couldn't sit up, she couldn't do anything. There's a lot of low points, especially when you have children with this disease. It's very hard. You just kind of want to curl up and forget about things. But when you have children, I think that gives you the extra fight.
She got to where she couldn't work, just meant that I had to work that much harder, I guess. What I've noticed over the past 18 years is her stress level has gone down and her heart function has gone up.
I started 2 dilated cardiomyopathy Facebook groups. When people first get diagnosed, they are really scared. We need to have a discussion, and people need to support each other and share their stories to have either support online or support in person. That's so important. Everyday life. is a triumph for people with cardiomyopathy. It's being alive. That's what the accomplishment is. It's being alive. I think that it's so important to get tested so the doctors know what genetic makeup that you have.
Such a beautiful video, and we thank Stephanie for participating in that, and her husband. And as she mentioned, Stephanie runs 2 DCM-specific Facebook groups on Facebook. You'll find one is public, one is private, so we do encourage you to check that out.
When I was 15 and diagnosed, it gave me 5 years to.
Let's go to the next slide. And so this is a new video that we've produced with Anna Morales, a genetic counselor, and she talks about the importance of genetic testing. And again, this will be available for you to download and share on social media. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
Growing up, I was exposed to children who had developmental disabilities, and that ignited in me not only a curiosity, but also I felt a deep sense of empathy with their families. There was very little known about cardiovascular genetics. I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. A genetic counselor would be the person who provides not only information about someone's risk to have or transmit a genetic condition to their children, but also help them adapt to a new diagnosis, to communicate with family members about the genetic risk, and to be a support person along the way. Genetic testing can guide management and can guide treatment for the affected patient themselves. And I think that genetic testing offers clinicians, cardiologists, and nursing professionals the ability to improve their ability to provide a very tailored diagnosis to their patient that will guide their treatment. It can save lives because when someone looks healthy but carries a genetic predisposition, they may not know until it's too late.
So huge thanks to Anna for participating and for that video. Let's go to the next
Growing
slide.
up, I was...
That's an odd thing that does. So let's talk for a moment about the importance of spreading awareness about genetic cardiomyopathy. The numbers of people affected by this are incredible, and that really draws on us to say, listen, we need to increase awareness. We need to all participate in this. It's estimated that cardiomyopathy affects 2.3 million people in the US alone. And of that, we said greater than 50% are likely due to genetics. That means that close to 1.5 million people in the US alone are affected by genetic cardiomyopathy. And it's estimated that about 150,000 people die each year from it in the US. So we must spread the word to get more people genetically tested for their cardiomyopathy. It can save lives. And we're hoping that you can help us in this. Knowing the gene that caused your cardiomyopathy can also help inform your treatment for you and your affected family members, as Anna just mentioned in her video, which can also help improve outcomes. And also knowing your gene can allow you to join a patient registry so scientists can contact you about gene-specific trials and therapies. And stay tuned because later this year, we will be starting a cardiomyopathy patient registry. So we're very excited about that, and we hope you will join us. Knowing your gene also makes it possible to consider participating in trials and to determine if you're eligible for certain gene-specific therapies once they become available. So without further ado, I'm excited to share with you the launch of the GCAC Advocacy Army. As you can see, our new logo here kind of ties in the GCAC logo with this flag image. And the reason we chose the flag and Advocacy Army was because this is really a war, and we have a mission to spread awareness, and we hope that you will join us in this mission. So Along with this logo, we have created an advocacy toolkit. And what that contains are all kinds of social media posts and various elements that you can use to help spread the word, which can help save lives and increase the opportunities for additional research and potential future treatments. But we can't do this without you. We need you to help join us in this fight. So I wanted to include this image here. It's pretty self-explanatory, but obviously the power of sharing on social media cannot be overstated. This is an exponential effect when people do share information on social media, and we hope that you will join us in getting the word out across social media channels, and we'll tell you how you can do so. So this is to introduce you to the Advocacy Army Toolkit. These are just some overview images of the sort of things you'll find in the toolkit, and I'll tell you how you can access that in just a moment. But the toolkit assets include videos, social media posts, graphics, PDFs, all kinds of information you will need to be able to share informative, fact-based, and emotionally kind of tugging information that will hopefully get people to learn more about genetic cardiomyopathy and consider getting tested. So the Advocacy Toolkit lives in a Dropbox online, and all that means is you can access it via a link, which we will provide to you, and I'll tell you how to do that. When you access the information via that link, it will bring you to the Advocacy Toolkit page, which will bring you to this. You will see this image when you get onto that page. It says Advocacy Army GCAC 2024. And we'll walk through each of these elements. You can see there are 4 folders, and then there's one document at the top, and we do recommend that you start there and read that first. So we'll just walk through each of these. This is the welcome document, which looks like this. I would encourage you to print this out and keep it handy to remind you to post regularly, maybe once a month, once every few weeks. It also talks about liking our Facebook page and following us on Instagram. And there are lots of ways. We'll go through each of these ways that you can help, but I would recommend you print out this guide and keep it handy as a reminder. The first folder in the Dropbox toolkit contained videos, and you just saw 2 of those videos. When you go into that folder, this is what you will see. This is how you access the videos, and these are just examples of 2 of the videos. You can click on either the Vimeo link or the YouTube link, and there you will be able to download the video, and then you can upload it to the appropriate social media channel. We have 5 videos available to share, so you might want to check them out. And we also have content that you can share along with these videos. So, really impactful, kind of compelling and emotional videos to try to get people to act. This you saw Stephanie and her husband. This is Greg Roof, Executive Director of the DCM Foundation, and his wife, Brenda. And it's from Brenda's perspective going through this journey, which is interesting. We then have Adam and Kaylee talking about Adam's journey with dilated cardiomyopathy and learning it was genetic. And Anna Morales, you just saw her video, genetic counselor, talking about the importance of getting tested. And then we have Mel George talking about his journey, finding out he had DCM, and then learning it was genetic, and then receiving a transplant, a heart transplant, which, all amazing videos, and we thank everyone for participating in the video series to produce these. Next, in the toolkit, you will see a folder with sample posts. These are sample media posts. These are some sample graphics that you will find in there. There are a number of graphics you can choose from. And again, you just download any of these, and then you can upload them to whatever social channel you want. If you have questions about any of this process, please email us. I will provide the email address a few times, but it's info@geneticcardiomyopathy.org. Greg Roof and I are available and happy to walk you through a one-on-one training about how to use the toolkit elements so that we can help get the word out. This you will also find in the social media folder. It's this one document here, which I've blown up the top part. These are a number of social media posts, and you can actually include this content of each of these posts with any of the graphics or videos that I just showed you, kind of mix and match. Really, the idea is to spread the word about the importance of getting genetically tested, and people can learn more. The call to action, they can visit our website, of course. So that's available. So you don't have to create anything on your own. It's all done for you. Next is the logos folder, and there you will find the Advocacy Army logo and the GCAC logo, as you can see here, available for your download and use. And last, we have informational PDFs, and in this folder, you will find 2 PDFs available to email. You can email these, or you can print them out and bring them with you. One is to bring to medical professionals, and one is to share with family members. So I would encourage you to maybe print out a few of each, and then when you're going to see your medical professionals or your family members, you'll have them available at the ready so that you can bring them with you. And just to educate them a little bit about the importance of this. You'd be surprised, but a lot of folks in the cardiology community are not yet familiar with the need for genetic cardiomyopathy testing. So this explains to them the guidelines and why it's so important that they get patients tested. How to make an impact. We would recommend that you join cardiomyopathy Facebook groups, and I'll tell you in a moment, I'll show you some of the groups that we have found online. Basically, if you go into Facebook to the groups tab, you then type in either cardiomyopathy or heart failure, and it will come up with all kinds of groups that you can choose from and join. And there, once you've joined, you can share our toolkit content there. So any of the social media posts, videos, those sorts of things. There are also gene-specific Facebook groups, and you can join those, post the content there, and I'll show you a few of those in a minute. And again, as we mentioned, bringing the PDFs to share with medical providers and family members. So first, just a footnote here. These are just some of the cardiomyopathy-related Facebook groups we have found online, and heart failure groups. And if you look at the number of members in these groups, you will see that, like that image that we showed about the impact of social media, if you share content on any of these groups, the impact can be really widespread. So we encourage you to check out Facebook groups and join them. So ways you can help spread the word, please do join our Facebook page. It's facebook.com, of course, /genetic cardiomyopathy awareness. You can follow us on Instagram @genetic cardiomyopathy awareness. And from there, it makes it super easy because whenever you see any of our posts, you can just share them on your personal feed. So that's a super easy way to help. You can also share our posts in the various groups as we talked about. You can make your own posts using the information that we've provided in the toolkit, and of course, printing and sharing those PDFs. Here are several gene-specific Facebook groups. If you have BAG3, MYH7, DSP, or the lamin gene, we strongly encourage you to join these groups, whichever group is appropriate to you, and encourage any of your family members to do the same if they also have been tested positive for these genes. Please continue to attend our webinars to stay informed. Talk with your family members. Whenever you have the opportunity, just start talking with them about the importance of considering getting genetically tested. And we will continue to add materials to the advocacy toolkit, so please do check back regularly. And with your help, we can continue to spread the message and help save lives. We really need you in this with us. How can you access the toolkit? You go to our website, geneticcardiomyopathy.org, click on Become an Advocate, and then Join the Fight. It looks like this. So here we are on the geneticcardiomyopathy.org website. The fourth tab over is Become an Advocate, and then you'll see that first sub-tab is Join the Fight. Click right there. All you'll need to do is put in your first and last name and email address, and then it will unlock the toolkit for you with all of those elements we just reviewed. Again, if you have any questions at all, please email info@geneticcardiomyopathy.org. That comes straight to me. And then we can schedule a one-on-one personal training session for you so that you can kind of walk through and understand how to download and upload any of this information to your social channels. Or if you have any other questions about any of this, please do email us. And as we just said, go to geneticcardiomyopathy.org and click on the Become an Advocate tab, and there you'll find all of the information. Please do help us spread this important message about genetic cardiomyopathy. Again, thank you to our generous sponsors, whose company names you see there. All amazing, wonderful people we work with, really trying to further scientific research in the area of genetic therapies. So thank you to everyone we work with at each and every one of these organizations. So we hope you will join us. Join the Advocacy Army and let's make a difference. Let's make an impact. And we're very excited for all what the future holds for hope for people with genetic cardiomyopathy. So thank you so very much. We'll see you next time. Take care now.